Welcome back to another video, guys. This is episode 4, right? What's it called? It's called The Close. We are finally done with the project. The roof, the siding, the windows. But before anything, hammer the like button, turn on the post notification, leave the comments below. Let's hit the intro, guys. Hey guys, welcome to another remodel. We are in another remodel. Keep watching. So guys, you saw everything from episode 1, which was the walk around. Episode 2, which was demolition. Episode 3, which was installation with problems, right? And then now we're in episode 4, right? So now we're gonna finally get to see how the product is already done. The roof is installed, the windows are installed, the siding's installed, everything's finally done, and we're gonna hear from the clients themselves. Follow us. It's a little dark, it's about 6:30, so here it is. So we had the issue, remember guys, we had the issue with the vinyl siding. And the problem was that my rep called me up. He says, hey, remember Ida came through. Our warehouse was flooded in East Rutherford. Guess what? You might not have your siding. Talk to your client about changing the color of the siding because I think it's destroyed. But what happened? Our siding was in a different side of the warehouse and it was not touched. So whew, we finally made it. So she has the color that she wanted, which was charcoal. We also installed the gutters, right? All the gutters and the downspouts, we also installed. And one of the things that I forgot to mention was that we installed the skylight. So that there's a Velux skylight up there as well. So they have natural light coming in through the kitchen. One of the small details that we did, don't forget, right? We installed this door. We installed the front door. We installed also another side door. We actually painted it black to match these doors. The chimney stack, if you look here, the customer said, do me a favor, can you just paint that? And I said, I'll paint it for you. And we also painted the chimney stack. So now everything looks fresh and new. So let's go inside, guys. So remember these windows which I mentioned before that we were gonna remove the interior trim. Now the vinyl windows are installed. They're double hung, right? Half screens, tilt wash. So these windows are installed and the other windows as well. But this is kind of the focal point of everything because this is the problem that they had before. So now they have 2 casement windows, one flanks to the right, one flanks to the left, and then there's 2 stationary in the middle. The trim was replaced and then they finally painted everything. So we're gonna hear from Matt. So how did you hear about Carpenter's Touch?
How did I hear about Carpenter's Touch? I was searching online. I searched a bunch of different roofers. I had probably like 10 different guys come in and out and give me different quotes.
Right.
And you were on that list. Eventually you came and the rest is history pretty much.
Like, so I was number 9, right?
Probably, honestly, I know, because remember you came a long time ago.
Like
yeah.
a year and a half
ago.
A year and a half ago came down here.
So you were one of the first ones,
right.
And then I won after you, I'm not gonna
right.
lie. Just trying to see what,
right.
if I can get better pricing and
stuff
yes.
like that, right?
Correct.
And color, I think color was...
Yes.
Oh, color, yes.
Yep.
And I read your reviews.
Did you?
Yes, so when he told me about you, I went on, I read reviews,
right.
And I was like, this is the one, you know?
And you did my uncle's house, so I had a little guinea pig.
So
I kept asking him after the storm, did it drip anything?
Right,
no,
right.
we're still good, all right.
Ida came through, and that was a real.
Yeah, that's a good test.
That was a real test, right there.
Absolutely.
So originally when you hired us, what did you want to your house done?
Pretty much we were going for roofing, siding, and then we were going outside to get somebody to do the windows and the doors. And then you mentioned that you did that as well. So all of that, roofing, siding, windows, doors, and a couple extra stuffs like, you know, the stuff we added on at the end.
Right.
They painted the foundation. They painted the banisters on the front of the house. They painted the chimney up top. They painted all the electrical panels and piping on the side and all the cable boxes and even all the cable wires. So they really,
And the door.
top to bottom.
And one door.
And both
the
doors.
doors.
The door
Correct.
that we never got
Yes.
to change, right?
And 2 doors.
So what I really loved about Carpenter's Touch was the professionalism.
Right.
I mean, everyone came on time. When the house, at the end of the day, it was like my house was reset to where I can come home and do what I needed to do, and I didn't feel like I was living in construction.
Right.
Just the quality, the communication of being able to communicate any changes that I needed, and just like feeling like I didn't have to answer every little question because everyone here was, you know, whoever was working on the house was taking care of everything.
Right.
And just communicating step by step if I needed to be notified of something. So it was just professional, executed, just the cleanliness, it was amazing.
Yeah,
So
I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liza called all the time, right?
Yeah.
Anytime that.
Yeah.
Well, that was, you know, I
Yeah.
do a lot of work in people's houses too. And again, it was like ghost in here because whatever they did, everything was covered clean when I came home, not even dust on the floor. Normally I would come and I would vacuum behind guys, you know, and that really wasn't the case. And I can communicate, you know, if I made a call, I think I called you one day at 12 o'clock that I wanted extras done. By the time I got home at 4:30, it was all done already. So, you know, to get to the guy on top and then to get down to the lower guys in that quicker time, it was impressive. And, you know, that was my number one thing, keeping everything clean, keeping everything tidy, and like she said, coming in on time. And then also, if you told me a certain day something would be done, it was done that day. So we were starting school, you were just starting school.
Yes, I was starting
So
school.
it was hectic.
The kids
You know,
were
so we needed the
starting
schedule to
school.
be tight, and it was pretty tight. I have to say, everything was, you said a day, Tuesday, it was Tuesday.
I think, did we start like September 7th or 8th or something like that,
Yes.
right?
and
I
the
think it
kids
took like,
started-
what, less than 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, but the kids started like 2 days while the house was being, like all the shingles and all that stuff was being taken down. But it went so smoothly, like I had to get them dressed and everything, and I didn't even know there was work being done around the house. And there
Yeah, it was impressive.
so much going on, but it just felt like everything was just working like a well-oiled machine. So it was,
So I have a question, right? I need to ask a question, right? So for me, the reality question was, how did you honestly feel when I told you about the siding, right? That
oh, I was devastated.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Right.
I didn't want to. I wanted to be calm on the
Right.
inside, but I was.
tell me how did you feel like when I told you? Because you
Yes.
felt calm, you know.
Yeah. So when you told me, in my head, a million things were firing off because I felt like in this time right now, everything is on back order or everything takes weeks. I mean, we had doors that took weeks to come in, right? So the minute you said that, I was just like, do I go crazy right now or do I, you know?
Just roll with the punches.
Yeah, roll with the punches. So then I just started thinking like, what are we gonna do? But
We waited. Did we wait 2 months or 3 months for the
Something
siding?
like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
For the siding
Yeah.
and the windows.
I
as
forget
well.
at this point because the windows was a
Yes,
weight,
the
the siding was a weight. There's a lot that I like personally. I like the way they use the bigger of the siding instead of the, I guess you use 4-inch instead of 2-inch, whatever it is. I love the way that looked and good.
the trim. So sometimes you see trim. So what I didn't like about this house originally, first the brown, but second was the white panels that was all around the door and the window. But you guys just put all the shake in there, and the trimming was nice and
it's clean.
thin and clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because initially we was going back and forth where we're just gonna do all lap siding home, and then you said, oh no, you know something, let's dress it up with some shakes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks really nice, you know.
And I like how you hid my piping from my unit.
Oh yes.
Right. So
Yes.
so tell me about what I actually did, right? Because
Yes.
you're an HVAC contractor, so you
Correct.
know, right?
All right, so pretty much my plan was, I've done it on a bunch of houses, was take the siding that's there off, put my piping for my HVAC unit right up on the house, and then you pretty much work around that. In this case, I did that. They came back one day and all the piping and everything was undone. I'm like, what's happening? What are these guys doing? I spent all day doing it the day before. I'm like, no. But they told me there was another layer of siding behind, which I didn't know. So they did the right thing. They pulled that layer off because they could have just said, all right, well, leave it or whatever. Right. So they pulled it off. So pretty much I had a live system, 2 heads, 1 condenser, that never got disconnected refrigeration-wise or electrical-wise. They were able to finesse the... Nope, I didn't have to recover the gas. They pulled it off the house. They put everything, taped everything, insulation, put the piping back on, notched around. And if you go outside, you can't even see.
You won't see it.
I could see just because I'm looking right there.
Right.
But it's, I asked my neighbor to find it, and he couldn't find it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to,
Speaking of neighbors, we are the talk of the town.
Yeah.
People are like walking their dogs, stopping, and
Correct,
just staring. And I'm like, yes, thank you. They're like, it looks beautiful. I'm like, thank you so much. So we look forward to.
No, but it was a really good job, honestly. It was
They're so happy.
very nice.
So happy.
And my neighbor too, when he got his roof and siding done, he sat out in the front and he was watching, supervising. So I told him to keep his eye out, make sure. And he said he didn't see anything,
He said it was amazing. Yeah.
like whatever damaged wood, they put the wood back. Any hollow areas, they covered back up. They didn't.
The front area
Was a disaster.
Yes.
When we tore it off that, and like what happened to
Yeah.
my porch.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So,
And I'm looking forward to seeing in the winter how that room feels because it used to be ice cold in there.
Yes.
That front build-out room that's up there.
We didn't realize how thin it was,
Right.
but when the guys were taking off the shape, like we realized how thin. We were so close to outside, and that's probably why it was so cold. But I had no idea.
It's
So
freezing, yeah.
I would recommend Carpenter's Touch to anyone and everyone that needs a home improvement. It's unmatched. You will never find anyone else, and I truly mean this, with the quality and professionalism that you guys provide. So.
I happen to agree. I priced out a lot of different guys, and the big part of it, which is the most important thing, is the pricing.
it's the pricing.
And it's the amount of work and the quality of work versus the pricing and all that stuff. And I have to say that the pricing was lower than a lot of the contractors I had in, and the work was above what I expected it to be, honestly. Because on the inside, I was expecting, and you even told me there may be a little work you have to do on the inside, but like as you could see, I didn't have to even open up a paintbrush, nothing. So, only thing is, a lot of flies were brought into the house. A lot of flies. So put fly catchers on the list. When you guys are working, you take 4 windows out, put a couple fly catchers in, and that's the only bad review I could have, honestly. To be honest, we're still dealing with the flies about 4 or 5 days after, but it is what it is.
Truly, thank you so much, Junior. I know I said it a million times, but I really.
No, good job, honestly.
Thank you.
I just like.
But did you see that gutter? Now that we're cut?